Welcome back to Imaginary Ramblings. I'm Matt,
And I'm Ben.
and it's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
Well, Benjamin, how are your holidays?
Oh, dude, they've been good. It was a nice long break, which was awesome. I also got to test out of a class, so I didn't have to take it, and that was so delicious.
Shit, son, we got a
I
baby
know.
genius on our hands.
Mhm.
Sweet baby Benjamin.
Listen, for real, it felt so good to be able to test out of that class because it was like an office administration class basically,
Yeah,
and it's like I done took those kinds of classes,
gotcha. So,
or my job too. Actually, before I decided to switch career paths, basically
yeah,
was basically like an office job too. So it was like, man, if I have to learn this bullshit again, you know what I mean?
yeah. See, you jumped the gun on me, because I was gonna say, what did you test out of making
Oh,
panties drop? You know, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you already made it really boring with office management. So
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
uh,
I mean it was basically Excel bullshit. If that makes it more exciting for everyone.
I'm pretty sure that decreased the arousal levels.
Yeah, it might have.
I don't know if you guys are getting hard like me, but it was Microsoft Excel.
Gilek.
Oh yeah, I know what makes the panty drops, and that's spreadsheets.
That's true.
Yeah, if she's got a CPA fetish.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure there's lots of ladies with CPA fetishes.
Oh, probably.
They're like,
I mean, who doesn't enjoy that kind of thing, right?
you know what? The older I get, the sexier
Yeah.
being responsible with money is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, you don't bounce checks every month? Ooh la la.
Oh my god.
I haven't bounced a check since I was in college. I don't even write
Shit.
checks.
Oh shit. Don't even write checks.
Yeah, I'm trying. Oh no, I have to write checks for my water bill because they're like old school. I either have to do go online and use my debit card, which they charge me for, or send them a check.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So not annoying. It's like you don't have like automatic bill pay, you bitch.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. But yeah. So right now, at this moment, we record. I'm recording, and technically we're recording because all the recording comes through to me, Master Blast Jones, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and we're recording on a new rig.
Yeah, yeah, boy.
Yeah, new rig, new
That's
gig.
pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It's if you follow us on any of our social media, you will have seen our the building of this new rig, where I had to take. Well, I didn't have to, but it saved me about $100
Oh yeah.
doing it this way, and I just like fucking went all
Uh-huh.
Frankenstein on this tower, and I was like, it lives or it's
Nice, dude.
alive. Yeah, yeah. I took my Dremel to it. I was sawing out sections of the aluminum frame, and I was
Oh
taking the
dang.
Dremel to like the plastic top to take the vents out the top, so I could put a radiator on the top of it.
So you did some heavy duty construction.
Yeah,
It sounds like.
yeah. I mean, it was all the construction was just to fit my liquid cooling system that I decided I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like well, let's see. I can pay $30 for a fan, or I can pay $60 for liquid cooling and live out my childhood fantasies of having a liquid cooled computer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Of course, it's nothing like the liquid. Like so, back in the day, like you had to build your liquid cooling system. It wasn't like you could just like buy it, or at least
Oh.
I'm talking about back in the dizzle like.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I'd always like see these pictures of these like custom built rigs with like fucking water pumps and shit going through them and stuff. It was like,
Mhm.
holy
Mhm.
motherfucking hell, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And so I get this thing, and of course it's like completely like not sexy at all. It's
Yeah. Right.
purely functional.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It does have an industrial kind of look if that's your aesthetic, which I guess is my aesthetic now
Mhm. Mhm.
because it's sticking out the top of my computer. Uh, are you ready for my big dumb fuck up while I was building my new PC though?
Yes.
So the main reason I was like contemplating replacing my tower was the power button on this tower would get stuck. It would always get stuck. It was a worthless button. It was, you would press it and it would get stuck, and it would either half turn on the computer and then the computer would shut down, or it would turn it on, but then like after you shut it down, go to turn it on again, it won't turn on because the button's already half pressed, and so I was just annoyed with the button. I was like, I'll just get a new tower so I don't have to deal with this power button anymore, because it's it's like a slick aerodynamic tower or whatever. The fucking
Mhm.
power button is custom made for the tower, so it's not like I could just replace the power button. Like I could
Oh,
maybe
sure.
go in and pop the mechanisms apart and replace that. Like I don't know, but that'd be a bigger pain in the ass than I want to deal with. And
Oh,
so
yeah. Maybe so.
I was like, well, I was building the PC and I got to the point where I was like, well, I can get the tower and get everything else, but that's going to put me at like $1,150, like $1,150. And I was like, but if I keep my current tower and I downgrade my motherboard, because I was going with like a full size motherboard, but I ended up with a micro.
Oh, really?
I can get it all the way down to 1,000. And
Oh, shit.
I
Okay.
was like, okay, I'll just do that. I'll be responsible. I'll save myself $150. And so I decided, well, if I'm doing this, after I ordered all the parts, and I'm like, okay, now I got to take the tower completely apart and vacuum it and scrub it and get all the crap off of it, because it hadn't been thoroughly cleaned since it was built, basically, since
Uh-huh.
day one.
Right.
So there was like splashed food on it and shit like that, because it's living around a bachelor for a couple of years, and then it was living around a toddler for several years as well, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so it had gotten a little
I could
messy.
see that causing some issues.
Yeah, so it got a little messy. So I was cleaning it, and while I was cleaning, I took it all apart, and I was like, well, let's look at this power button. Let's see if we can solve this problem. And so I'm looking at the power button. It's basically the back of the power button had separated from the casing of the power button. Like the actual mechanism had separated from the aesthetic, I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And so whenever you would press it, it would kind of bounce up a little bit, and then
Oh,
that
okay.
would keep it from like having like a solid press, because it would keep separating. So I was like, oh, I know how
okay.
I'll fix this. I'll just put a little drop of super glue in there.
Mhm.
And of course, what I forgot about super glue is that not only does the glue kind of like melt plastic, but the fumes from the glue also melt plastic.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And so I made sure that the button stayed vertical so that the glue wouldn't go anywhere but the back, but the fumes themselves went inside and they just fucked up all the mechanisms, and
Oh, no.
it wouldn't like work. I mean, I never tested it to see, but the mechanism was working even worse than before.
Oh, shit.
Which sucks, because like when I went to bed, I was so proud of myself because I was testing it and it was working perfect. It wasn't sticking at all anymore, or at least it was sticking a lot less. It wasn't quite perfect, but it was sticking a lot less. So I was all proud of myself. I was like, yeah, I fixed it. And then I got up that morning And I was like, yeah, let's play with this button that I fixed, and then it wouldn't work at all anymore because overnight the plastic had all fused and melted together.
Oh Jesus.
It was like, oh Jesus, oh well. So then I got on Amazon and I was like, well, let's try to find a new power button. And I was looking, and of course, I finally I found this like black and red button, and I was like, okay, this kind of matches the aesthetic, and I can kind of just cover up the hole for the current power button. And it'll be fine. It's a, you know, I was figuring it'd be fine. I'll figure out a way to like cover it up that it doesn't look too terrible. And so I get the power button, and I hadn't even really paid enough attention to what this was. Like I read reviews to make sure it worked well and stuff like that, but I didn't like pay attention to what it was for. It's like a lazy person power button. So
really?
What it does is it has this big long. It comes with like a 6-foot cord, and the cord goes inside the computer, and then the power button just sits on top of your desk.
Oh shit!
Or wherever you're having your computer, so your tower can be off somewhere else, and your power, you don't have to like bend over to your power button. So I have a power button just sitting on my desk now. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like, well, it's what it is now. Not what I was planning, but you know, you adapt and you do what you can. But yeah, that was part of my struggle to build a new computer. It was an experience. It always is every time. Like the first time I built a computer, the power supply that I bought was bad, apparently. And so that was really annoying because if your power supply is bad, you can't really be like, you don't really know what's wrong with the computer because it won't turn on at all.
Yeah, sure.
And so we eventually, I had a buddy that had an extra power supply, and we plugged it in, and we're like, oh, it works. It's just the power supply was bad, so they replaced my power supply. But and this time, I have adapters for my monitors, and all my adapters wouldn't work, and so I didn't think my video card worked because the adapters would work when they were plugged into the motherboard, but they wouldn't work when they were plugged into the video card. I don't know why, but I got new adapters and now they work. It was harrowing. I was very upset about that part because I'm like, God damn it, this fucking video card isn't even working.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, but all is well. I was playing 7 Days to Die at max settings and still getting 60 frames per second. Which,
oh, there you go.
I don't know if it can do better. I don't know. I don't understand really the whole frames per second fetish. It's not something I really understand. Like, I think 30 to 60 is perfectly fine, but some people are like, I need 120 frames per second.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, can you even like, does that even make a difference? All the computer people and all the competitive computer gamers are getting like furious right now.
Yeah, probably.
None of them
pissed them all off.
None of them that listen. They're all going to listen to this podcast just so they can download it. Like, they're going to download it on iTunes just so they can give it a 1.
Yeah.
But yeah,
probably.
I almost guarantee it. But we've been gone for almost 2 months now. And we're back. We're going to be playing an interview here in a minute that I had with Patrick of the Discordia comic. They're doing a Kickstarter for the next 9.5 days at this point for the Make 100. And it's going to be a special limited run of, I think they're making 100 editioned ones, and then anything past the first 100 becomes non-editioned, so they're just like not as special, I guess. if you're a
Oh,
comic
really?
book collector, because they're not editioned anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're second printing. They're garbage, basically. Not worth the paper they're printed on. I don't know. Being a little excessive there. But
wow, yeah, jeez.
But yeah, that'll be happening for the next 9.5 days, and so you will get to listen to the interview of Patrick and I, and then Ben and I will be back after that interview for the outro. How's that sound, Benjamin?
It sounds good to me.
All right. All right. Now you have to sit down and introduce Patrick and I. Ben, that's your job. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you have the fortitude?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have the sexual arousal?
Always.
Do you have the fetishization of Germanic tribe descendants?
How did you know?
Well, because you're my friend. All right, we're just going to roll the footage because I think we introduced ourselves, actually, because I didn't know we'd be doing it the way we're doing it now.
Yep, oopsies.
Oopsies. All right, here we go. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Welcome to Imaginary Ramblings. I'm Matt.
And I'm Patrick.
And I'm not sure what episode number this is because my computer was broken for about 2 months, and I'm still getting back into the swing of podcasting here.
Yeah, we had a good commiserate session over tech support issues before recording here.
Yeah, because this is the first recording I've done since I got the new rig set up, so it was a trial and error experience to get it to work, but we are.
We're out the other end and better for it, though.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking a little bit about your all's Kickstarter that's coming up for the Make 100 Kickstarter January event.
Yeah, should be pretty cool. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's 10 days, and it's going to be a new, unique story. Is this like is it in line with any of the stories you've put out so far, or are about to have put out?
Yeah, so it's basically going to be a bit of a lead-in into the full issue 1. So for anybody who's read any of our stuff beforehand, the first book we did, we called issue 0, and it was basically an anthology of shorts that did a little bit of world building, and basically it was just like an excuse for us to play around and do some fun stuff with various different themes and kind of get our legs under us and sort of build up a little bit of a following.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did another one. We did a winter special, which is kind of similar. It's I think it's 2 separate books, again, with one of the stories is longer, and then there's several other shorts that are kind of similarly just world building and kind of little one shots. But then later this year we're going to be doing issue 1, which will be the start of the continuous story. And so this one for the Make 100 story is called A Bloody Business, and it's basically a little bit of backstory for one of the main characters for issue 1.
Awesome. That's cool. I saw the cover in the Twitter announcement, and I see there's a man bat on it.
Yes, there's a big winged boy.
Yeah.
He's going to be featured. Spoilers.
I mean, it's not spoilers if it's on the cover, but
yeah, I'm always kind of torn about that. Like, what do you do on the cover? Because like you want it to be cool and eye-catching and exciting, and you want people to want to pick it up and read it, but at the same time, you don't want to give too much away.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I will, as a not avid comic reader, but someone who's been reading comics pretty much his whole life. It is infuriating when the cover has nothing to do with what's inside the comic.
Agreed. I have always hated that.
That is the most misleading thing I've ever. Like I don't know if I can think of anything that's been disappointed me more than when I've like bought a comic with like, because I think it's only ever happened when I was still like a kid. I think it happened on like a Wolverine comic I read one time. I don't remember for sure, but I bought it with like the little bit of money I had, only having an allowance and no job.
Right. Yeah.
And I bought it and I get it home and I read it, and and the cover and what's inside of it had nothing to do with each other, and I was just
Yeah.
heartbroken.
Same. I always like it. Always pissed me off too, especially when I was a kid, because I didn't really realize how any of this worked, and I wasn't a huge comic reader as a kid. Like I
Mhm.
definitely read some, but I never like I'm not one of those guys who has a garage full of long boxes with every issue of Fantastic Four or
Mhm.
whatever. Um, but yeah, when you like pick up a book and the cover looks really cool and you're like, wow, and then you get it and like you start reading it and it's a different artist inside. And I know that's like
Oh, yeah.
standard practice, especially for like the big two. And we did variant covers for issue 0 and
Yeah.
for the winter special. And it's really cool. Like it's fun to see other people work on your book and stuff. And draw your characters, and it's a little different for variants, but it always frustrated me when like the cover looked really cool and then you opened the book and you're like, wow, this doesn't look anything like the cover did.
Yeah, I mean that's hardcore like Silver Age. I feel like too is
Yeah,
it's
probably.
like the covers were always because like I feel like in the Silver Age they were still like the inside was drawn at a little bit better quality than like the Golden Age stuff. I don't know.
Sometimes.
I'm talking out my ass a little bit here, but yeah, it just I don't know. I was reading the is the Infinity Gauntlet the original ones considered Silver Age? Or is that
I
newer?
don't know. That's
Yeah, I'm not sure.
above my pay grade in comics lore.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Sam.
I
read Hellboy as a kid. I read manga and Hellboy as a kid. So
yeah, I read a lot of manga. I got bullied. Like this is how the only people I socialized with as a child were nerds and super nerds.
Right.
And so I got picked on because I was reading Walmart versions of the oh shoot, where was it, the X-Men, Ultimate X-Men, that's it. The Ultimate Run, and I was reading the Walmart version and they were like, those aren't even collectible because they're sold at Walmart, and I'm like
I thought you were gonna say you got bullied by like other kids for reading comics or manga or whatever, but no, you got bullied by the nerds for reading the wrong comics.
Yeah, I got the wrong edition.
Right. That's funny.
that's not even collectible.
Like, I just wanted to know what happened though.
Yeah. It turned out it was a bad idea though, because my parents wouldn't let me go to the book part of Walmart, or the magazine part, back when they had like that entire like 20-foot area that was all just magazines.
Yeah, right.
And comic books and stuff. They wouldn't let me go there every time we went, and so I ended up missing a bunch of issues, or they just stopped selling them. I don't remember what happened, but I only got like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's why a pull list at your local comic shop is the perfect solution, because
That's true. Or backing independent creators on Kickstarter. You're getting all of it then.
And if you follow them on social media, you'll never miss a Kickstarter. And you can also, there's a little button that you can follow content creators on Kickstarter itself. So there you go.
There you go. This is all the inside tips here.
Yeah, multiple ways to make sure you don't miss anything. So I want to talk a little bit about issue 0, because I physically have that. I'm still waiting on Rotted Liar and Apocrypha, because that just ended like 13 days ago, something like that.
Yeah, I believe that's still off at the printers.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wasn't expecting to have it.
It's too bad though. It would have been cool.
Yeah. That would have been nice to be able to talk about both of them. Now, I want to talk about, and it's going to be a little spoilery, I think, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite one, and I know it's probably the one that leads into the issue 1 the most. The 3 Faces of God.
Ah, yes, you've put it together.
Yeah. That I just, oh my God, you really nailed it with your iconography and everything in that. It just,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it felt like really creepy, but really established, and also like, I don't know, it's definitely that and the Factory are like probably my favorites. Maybe it's because those were the ones that I hadn't gotten to read before.
Sure, right, yeah, because we had released some of those were
Mhm.
on Webtoons initially.
Yeah, yeah, but I just really like those. I love the. It looks like there's some like kind of voodoo-esque stuff happening in the. I don't know if you can talk about that.
In Fear Factory.
Yeah, in Fear Factory.
Yeah, definitely a little bit. I mean, it's not something that we've fleshed out a ton.
Mm-hmm.
But because we have this huge world with all these different characters and all these different areas
Mm-hmm.
that all have their own like traditions and history,
Yeah.
and because of the way we've set up the series with doing all of these little one shots and short stories, we have a ton of room to add and explore all of that kind of stuff. So like with that first issue, with issue 0, that was really kind of one of the goals, was just to lay a bunch of seeds.
Yeah.
And then yeah, hopefully yeah, definitely be able to return. That is just the first part of that story too. So there's definitely a conclusion to that one.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there should be more from Maggie Thorne.
I'm looking forward to that. I just I really like the surprise robot arm. Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers. Yeah, that one was really fun. That was kind of my baby of all of those, because that was the one that I wrote as well.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did not pay attention to the written by. I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good. I mean, Chris and I collaborated on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, even though it says written by, we went back and forth on stuff, and he helped flesh it out, because he really is crushes it on the world building aspect. So I was always like emailing him and like, wait, so like what time period should I set this in again? And then like which city is it supposed to be in?
Oh yeah. It's hard it can be hard to keep track of that stuff, especially when it's like you're playing in somebody else's sandbox a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because like that always happens to me whenever I try to like, because I do a lot of tabletop RPGs, like,
mm-hmm.
And I just have a hard time trying to run anything that's already established lore, because I feel like I'm not doing it justice because I can't remember enough about it.
Right, and then you run into too, like if your player knows more about it than you do,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, yeah, of course that's because of that one thing that you know about.
Yeah, that happened when I was trying to run Star Wars one time. I got
Yeah.
schooled, not in a bad way. It was just like, and the like, he's like, oh, is this? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I was like, I don't know what that is.
Star Wars is a tough one too. That's just huge, especially with like all the expanded universe stuff.
And it's like twice as big if you include the non-canon extended universe too now. So
right, yeah. Like I know the movies pretty well, and I've seen some of the series, but I don't know it. And I've read some of the books and comics too. But if somebody were to quiz me on that, I would not be passing. Yeah.
I don't know where to start with some of the extended universe. I've almost got all the shows watched. I'm a couple seasons away from finishing Clone Wars, and I've almost finished Rebels.
Okay.
And of course, I'm completely caught up on The Mandalorian because it's amazing.
Right. Yeah. Well, you have to. Yeah. That's kind of the hot button issue at the moment. Got to stay up to date on that.
That's how you could start some nerd fights if you try to like.
Speaking of nerd bullying.
Yeah. Don't disrespect Grogu or the Mandalorian, or you get in trouble.
Right. Yeah, timbers are gonna flare.
Yeah. Before we started recording, we noticed you guys somehow managed to raise the same exact amount of funds on both the Rotted Liar and the Discordia number 0. So my question is, how many souls do you owe Satan at this point?
Yeah, we owe somebody. There's some other world entity, something. I guess where our Kickstarters are haunted.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool, really. I didn't realize that, but I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be my computer being weird. I don't know, but I'm on the.
No, I'm sure you're right. I
Yeah.
honestly hadn't looked, but I imagine that's right.
Yeah. Nope. I refreshed. It still says it, but it does say you will die now. So that's a little.
You've uncovered eldritch knowledge that no living soul is
Yeah.
supposed to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel the
Wanna
madness
avoid that.
creeping in.
Right. Well, that's just from reading issue 0, though.
Yeah, definitely. Issue 0 can cause some madness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, the Make 100 though, it's starting this weekend, right? So like,
yeah, I think it's probably going to be Monday. We're just waiting
Monday.
on Kickstarter to approve the project, basically. It'll go through. It
Yeah.
has on all of our other ones and everything, but it just takes a while for them to process it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people, since they have like a whole event going on. Probably a lot of people are doing stuff too.
Yeah, hopping on.
Yeah, that's so probably Monday. All right, I will try to have this out either Saturday or Sunday. That way, people get their hands on this recording. I think you said there was going to be a couple different rewards, or is it just mainly the editioned special issue?
So initially there's limited issue print runs for the story itself, which is going to be an 11-page short about a character, Cole, who is going to appear later on in issue 1 as well. And it's basically like a little, it's kind of like an old gangster. It's kind of like Reservoir Dogs, but with monsters.
I like it
a little bit. So it's a fun one. And so that's sort of the main project, and then we also have some stretch goals. So at 1250, we're going to add a set of stickers, and then we're also going to do some custom tarot cards at 1500, and then pins at 2000.
Ooh, I like tarot cards and pens and stickers.
Yeah, it seemed like a nice, fun one. That kind of goes with a little bit of voodoo magic in there.
Yeah. Are you making the art for the tarot cards?
We haven't actually planned it out yet.
Yeah.
We're just gonna wait and see, make sure we hit the stretch goal.
Before you start making, yeah.
Yeah, we do have a lot going on behind the scenes though for this one, and then because I'm still drawing as we're recording, I'm still drawing the pages for the winter special as well.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll have to sort it out and check with Chris.
I mean, sounds like you might be a little overloaded to do that extra.
Well, yeah, we'll see. It shouldn't take too long, but want to make them nice and cool for everybody. But we got when we did the winter special, we had a handful of other great artists come in and do some of the shorts with us as well, which was really fun to do that collaboration. So it's possible if it does end up being that I'm too busy, but we can reach out to one of them.
Oh yeah. Always, it's always good to like. That's I've got a couple friends in like the RPG publishing area, and yeah, that it's very I guess the best word would be like incestuous, where they're all like making stuff for each other and stuff. Like one will do a Kickstarter, and the special guests writing extra little adventure hooks will be all the people who also do Kickstarters that they and they're all just making so
yeah, definitely. I think that is the same for comics. I think that there's I mean, it's I think a growing community, but still reasonably small, and I think that if you're looking closely, you'll notice it is a decent amount of the same folks are working back and forth on stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just always like the best thing about smaller indie situations is the more independent people. Like, you don't have like, it's not like you have Marvel or DC just throwing people to work for you at you,
Yeah, although I think even for some of the bigger publishers, there will be periods of time, whether it's 10, 15, 20 years or whatever, where it is a handful of the same people are making a lot of the decisions on stuff, whether that be editorial decisions or actually writing kind of the bigger story arcs that then end in some some
Yeah.
climactic team book or whatever. So it is interesting. As much as it seems bigger, I think it's
Yeah.
kind of small in the family there as well.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true because I don't know. I feel like not recently, but definitely like 5-10 years ago, there would always be like some sort of article like DC's going to stop doing print comics or Marvel's going to stop doing print comics,
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that recently. I think that they're doing well enough that nobody even thinks they would do that anymore, but I don't know. But I do remember you used to see those all the time, like people claiming that all these big names are just going to stop doing print.
Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know. I'm not plugged in enough to the mainstream stuff to know any of like the actual workings behind the curtain on that. But my gut feeling is that there will always be print comics to some extent. I think people said that when like tablets were 1st coming out too. Like as soon as like the Kindle Fire came out or whatever, like, well, there'll never be a book printed on paper. It's like, yeah, but there's you could read it on the tablet, but there's something about like holding a physical object and interacting with it that's different.
Yeah, I mean, until we get jacked into the Matrix, we're going to want to have something tactile that we can hold on to.
Yeah, right, which is, unfortunately probably sooner than later as it
I mean, I don't know about unfortunately. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to my robot overlords,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess, it's like 50-50. It could be benevolent, you never know.
I think I'd be really upset though if I come from like the year 2500 or whatever the Matrix takes place in, and the robots decide to make me live in the 1990s.
Yeah, that's right. that's right. They just decided that was the perfect time.
Yeah,
time period.
Dial-up internet. Oh, I mean, like at least give me like 2020 with like real kaiju. There we go.
Yeah. True.
Real virtual
that
kaiju.
was unkind of them. Yeah.
That's what that's really what I'm looking forward to, is when the kaiju and the AI all fight each other for dominance over the human race, as is inevitable.
We get Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, and then of course we're gonna have Cthulhu showing up once those two start fighting, and
right, yeah. It's funny. I always I joke with my friends that we're either looking at a Mad Max future or the Matrix future. It's like really 50-50 at this point. So either start investing in tech companies or in goggles and old hockey gear.
Yeah, probably both will happen. Honestly, I mean,
yeah, probably more likely both.
I mean, I don't think no matter how bad it gets, technology will just like disappear, but it might be become like pocketed city states run by Microsoft and Facebook and Google.
Yeah, some tech fiefdoms. I think that's pretty likely. Yeah.
Could you imagine if oh my god, if Bill Gates is like the fucking what was his that guy just died, but the guy from Fury Road, what was his name? Oh shoot.
Immortan Joe.
Yeah, Immortan Joe. Like if he
yeah.
the nerdiest the nerdiest, most I don't know, just a not imposing figure, and he's just like up there like with skulls hanging from it. He's like,
yeah, exactly.
He's like, this is because you wouldn't let me cure malaria.
Exactly. Him and Elon Musk will have opposing fiefs.
Oh man, Elon Musk will just be like the psycho raiders from Borderlands, basically. He's already crazy.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you on that one. I know not everybody is down on Musk. He's got some stands for sure, but yeah.
I mean, I don't have like a problem per se with Elon Musk, but I definitely think he's gotten to the point where he's got so many yes people around him that he's lost touch with reality a little bit.
Yeah, I'd buy
That's
that. I'd buy that to some extent.
that's my hot take on Elon Musk. I really looked up to him a couple years ago, like back when he was first like coming into notoriety.
Hmm.
But then like I realized he just talks like he knows everything about everything, and I'm like, oh, he's probably talking mostly out his ass. He just sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, it is the bummer, right? When people are really good at one thing,
Yeah.
it's easy to or like, it's
Hmm.
easy to feel like you know a lot about a lot of things, but not always. Sometimes, but not always.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't live in the era of like what are they called? Like the gentleman scholars, where the amount of
Yeah.
knowledge there is on any subject is like 3 or 4 books, and so you just master
Yes.
everything in a couple years.
Right. Yeah, it's a little more specialized nowadays. You kind of
Yeah.
got to pick.
Yep. I do get jealous of the idea that like there used to be like these like everybody knew how to like draw basically. Like
Oh.
like I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
guess. Think so?
I don't know. That's what they make it look like in TV and movies and stuff. Like they always just show them like doing these amazing like sketches in their journals and stuff. Like, oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
just
Yeah,
discovered the Planticus mandacticus, and now I will draw it in pristine detail. And it's like, what the fuck? I can't even draw like that. I went to 4 years of
yeah.
art school.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's funny you say that because as far back as I can, I think about back in the day, and I think about like Tolkien because he
Mm-hmm.
drew drew and did like watercolor paintings for the
Mm-hmm.
covers of like the first few printings of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and those are not particularly good.
Oh,
So
okay.
it wasn't quite everybody, and not some people were still drawing stick figures, cave painted stick figures. And I say that as a huge Tolkien fan, so
Okay.
I'd cut him slack if they were decent, but I don't know.
If they were decent. Hey, beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh man, the when I was in art school, my there was this nice older lady that was basically like running the. She was just like, I guess she had a lot of money. She didn't dress like she had a lot of money, but she was on her like 10th degree or something like that. She was just
Mm.
basically trying to get every degree that WU offered, apparently. Um,
Just University Pokemon edition.
yeah, yeah, basically. And so the current degree she was going for was a BFA, a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. And so she was
Okay.
in some of my classes, and and so she. Here's the thing that's weird about the fine art world is she could actually end up being like a world famous artist because she knows she has an eye for aesthetics. She just didn't have the skills. Um,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah, like the techniques, the
yeah,
material.
and
Yeah.
I'm and there is like big money in folk art, so like she could eventually like make decent money just doing like folk art, which is unskilled but aesthetically pleasing art.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but we did. She was in my figure drawing class with me, and the we had a male model, and she drew his penis straight up, like,
Oh.
and it wasn't at any point during.
I was there. I could attest it was not.
Yeah. And so me and my friend came really close to just redrawing ours so that hers would be correct look, so it would seem like hers was correct when there was
Yeah, right. The
multiple
professor's like
erect
critiquing them
penises.
and just like, or the professor's like, oh, I might need to look into this model. This wasn't working
Oh,
out.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, it was just because somebody's technical skills aren't great, maybe it doesn't mean that they won't do well in the art world.
Yeah, for sure. Stylized stuff is always going to be, there's always a space for that.
Yeah, yeah, that was the thing I was always most jealous of, and it seems like you've got your style on lock, at least in the Discordia stuff. I've not seen much of your other work. Um, but yeah, I was always jealous of artists that knew what their style was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I really think of it as like a style, but that's sort of just like the way that I end up rendering stuff. Like when I'm sitting down to like draw a page, I'm just trying to do it like as best as I can.
Yeah.
And it always sort of ends up that way. So I guess I don't really think of it like consciously that I'm trying to. I mean, sometimes there's stuff like
Yeah.
like do like a lot of silhouette, like some heavy shadowing or something. Like there's some things that I know that will work in a certain place and I'll sort of plan for that. But yeah, I don't know. I do think it's interesting, and I'm a little bit jealous of people who can really turn style on and off and do stuff in a different way. But I don't know.
Yeah. See, my art style is sometimes I occasionally accidentally get lucky and I put something together that looks decent.
See, I think that's more common than you'd think. I think
Yeah.
that's probably most of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple friends who just had like they I don't know. I'm sure it's one of those things where I didn't see the 100,000 hours they put in before art school where
Sure,
they
yeah.
nailed down their style, But yeah,
Mhm.
I just had a couple friends in art school who had consistently had like the same style throughout all school. Other than in the classes where you're not allowed to do like style. It's
Right,
like
yeah.
figure drawing class. You have to just draw a figure. You're not doing style.
Yeah, you're trying to trying to like do study anatomy and like
Yeah. But in any other class, they always they consistently had a solid style, and I was just like, man, that's so. I wish I had that because I would draw like one day I'd be drawing like these things that look like they come from like like Cartoon Network cartoon from the era, and then the other day I'd be drawing like something that looked like it came from a manhwa or a manga. It's it would be
Mhm.
all over the place.
Yeah, that's cool though.
And then the other 45% of the time it'd just be straight garbage somewhere in between all those things.
Yeah, well that happens too, unfortunately. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
they call that process, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I have the patience for it. That's why I'm like a graphic designer that mostly does technical stuff. Cause
Yeah, there you go.
Cause it doesn't require me to like hate the thing I made.
Well, as long as it's client work and they like it, then it's mission accomplished, right?
Yeah. See, I don't even have to
Yeah.
deal with clients. That's the great part. Is I just
Oh, there you
it's
go,
all
even better.
it's almost 90% of what I do is internal, and the other stuff is just recreation. So, well, not recreation.
Still, even
but,
if it's internal, then it's as
Yeah.
long as somebody else is happy with it, the person
Yeah.
who decided that's what we were doing, then it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I think they're just happy that I actually know how to turn on a computer.
Well, that is a big first step, so it's important. You can't undersell that.
Yeah. No. That's a skill some still do not have. Unfortunately.
Right? Yeah. It's tough though. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. No. As someone who just had a computer 2 months ago that wouldn't turn on.
Yeah, exactly. We can't. It's an underrated skill turning it on.
Yeah, it definitely happens that your computer won't turn on, and sometimes you cannot figure out why.
A little trial and error,
Yep.
40 hours later, voila.
40 hours later, and you're just like, well, I guess I'm buying a new one.
Yeah, it's the add to cart is the voila.
Voila, I've added to cart. Yep, there we go. Well, is there anything else that we should do? You know what, I don't know if you know this, because I know Chris was the one setting up the Kickstarter. Do you have like the price point on the
Yeah, so the stretch goals, the first stretch goal is at $12.50 for the stickers, and then tarot cards at $15 and pins at $2,000.
Mhm.
So I think it's going to be I think it's either $1,000 or $1,100 for the initial goal.
And for do you know what the what's it called, the just the backing level the initial like getting the
Oh, for sure.
1 out of
I
100.
don't actually. I imagine it'll be the same as our other ones, though. So it was like it's 5 for the digital, and then 10 for the physical copy, and then plus other stuff. And I think that we will have the other issues. So if you didn't get a chance to pick up issue 0 during that Kickstarter or the winter special, you should be able to add that stuff on there as well.
Dope. They can catch up.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be as special as the one I got, right? It's not going to be.
Well, that one really, yeah, that really is. That's first issue or first printing on that one too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, as long as it's not as long as they don't get one as special as mine. First printing, November 2020. So you guys are completely out of your first printing, or did you only order enough of the first printing for the backers, and then any extras were separate?
We got a few over the backers, but we have gone through and sold a decent chunk of those after the fact. So I imagine that there are still some kicking around, but we're probably pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad you guys are about to go to the press again. I bet the press is glad.
Yeah, it's always exciting.
Yeah. And we got the Rotted Liar and Apocrypha coming out. And it looks like it's estimated February.
Yeah, should be. Like I said, I'm still drawing the pages for the last story for that Kickstarter, which is the Apocrypha story. But yeah, should be sometime in February.
Awesome. I'm excited about those because I saw because you guys shared some of the stills from it. I'm like, ooh, wintry stuff.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a fun one. It's Little Baby Blue is the one that I'm working on primarily, although I did work on a handful of pages for the other ones as well as the cover. But yeah, it should be pretty sweet.
Yeah, is it and if this is TMI or too spoilery or whatever, you could just say no. But does it seems like they're kind of like more kind of lore, like not lore, but like fairy tale kind of deals where you're like finding out the things that were just talked about really exist and kind of deals.
Yeah, so for that Kickstarter there was 2 separate books, and it's the Rotted Liar, which is more like that. So it's it's almost like poetry or like folk tales like that, kind of like you said. And that is a series of shorts, and then the one that I'm primarily working on, which is Apocrypha one, and Apocrypha will be an ongoing series as well, which will be basically a series of one shots for whenever we have an offshoot character or a story that we want to do that doesn't fit into the main continuity, then that will be an Apocrypha. So it's basically like a spin-off title. And then the Rotted Liar also will be ongoing, and that is the compiled folklore for the different provinces and areas. But there is there's an ongoing narrative for that too, as we start off and finish with a character who's basically researching these specific stories, and then the stories that we see in the book is basically him doing the research on them.
Oh, okay, all right. I like it. Sounds cool.
Yeah, a little bit meta, but pretty fun.
Yeah, I was worried you were going to go like the Brandon Sanderson route, and it be like some sort of like time traveler or something that can like travel from the different stories, But
oh yeah, there is a character who will probably be appearing throughout some of those stories, but it's more supernatural than sci-fi, and it wouldn't be like the Sanderson stuff. Although that is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I'm a huge Sanderson fan. It blew my mind when I found out all his books were connected as I was like binging on them.
yeah, pretty big reveal. I haven't gotten through all of them, but I've heard a lot of good things about them. So
yeah, I'm way behind. I did really well, and then I started a family, and now I don't have as much time.
Yeah, it turns out that's how it goes.
Yeah. families take up a lot of time, and hobbies and work, and so yeah, you choose what's important to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's talking with you guys about your comics that I think are pretty awesome.
Heck yeah. Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Anything else you want to shout out or to discuss before we wrap up?
Nothing in particular. Just everybody go check out the Kickstarter if you're into kind of into some horror, sci-fi horror comics. This will be right up your alley. I think it's pretty cool. I'm really happy with how they've all come out so far. And yeah, I'm excited to keep going on it.
Yes, and I'm excited to help you guys out here. And all I have left to say is sorry. I'm a little off my game. I haven't recorded one in so long. I almost forgot how I end this.
It's all good, dude. All that tech support, not enough podcasting.
Yeah. But yeah. With all that said, all I have left to say is bye. Well, that was a fascinating interview for sure.
Dang, you got some great skills. Great interviewing skills.
I'm probably gonna get what's the journalism awards. You could get one of those.
I don't know, but you'll get them all.
They're gonna actually create new ones just for me.
Yeah.
So they can give me all the journalism awards.
Oh yeah.
All the journalisms. All I know is I'm still a little rusty at this podcasting thing from being gone 2 months, and
yeah,
I keep getting tongue tied more than I think I used to. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it happens.
But it's been a good time chatting with you again, bud.
Yeah, bud, it's been good.
And it was a good time chatting with Patrick. And y'all should go and make sure you support them on Kickstarter. I will have a link in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
And on to podcast news. Inseminoid, which was the episode that was supposed to come out right after Thanksgiving, but that's when my computer broke, so that episode did not come out.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be coming out this Wednesday. Also, over Thanksgiving break, I was supposed to be editing our actual play that we were very excitedly announcing that it would be coming out that following week.
Nice.
Because my computer died, it is not coming out because I have not had the time to edit it that I thought I would have, because I thought I'd be able to edit it when I wasn't working. So I'm not sure when those will come out because they do take a lot of editing, as I want them to be very nice. So I will keep you all updated on the new release date for those. After Inseminoid, we'll be doing the stuff, which we'll talk about at the end of the Inseminoid episode. But just letting you know, we are continuing our trend of watching old school movies. Benjamin, I forgot to tell you this earlier, and so this is going to be just as shocking and surprising and exciting to you as it is our listeners.
Ooh.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes.
They finally set a date for Tentacles, which is the second to last season 2 episode of Into the Dark.
Hey, finally.
And it is for Valentine's Day. I think it said February 12th or February 15th. I can't remember exactly. But
that's cool.
It's going to be in mid-February. We'll be able to review. We'll be able to go back to Into the Dark.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but there's still no date that I could see for the last episode of season 2 of Into the Dark. So I'm guessing that means it's not coming out in March, or maybe they don't want to commit, at this time to March release date. I don't know.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, or I don't know. It might be not existent. It might have not been far enough along in production and they just scrapped it. I don't know.
I hope we get it, man, because even if they're bad, I enjoy them.
I do too. Like, here's the thing. I can't think of any Into the Dark film that was as bad as some of the movies we've watched since we stopped watching Into the Dark.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we've been outright mean to, like, Inseminoid specifically, which you guys will hear about. Oh, I shouldn't spoil that. Like, whoops. But
Yeah. Listen, everyone knows that just from even the name of, that it was going to be a rough one.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, that's the plan. We are still so I don't know if you remember this, Benjamin, but we talked about I'm pretty sure we talked about it in the episode. I'll have to listen to it again to see. But I think we talked about bringing back the Apocalypse Monthly.
Oh yeah. We had mentioned that, yes.
And I think we said it was going to come back in January. Obviously, that's not happening because it would have come out this week, I think. Yeah, either this week or last week if it had come out in January, because I tried to do it on the second week of the month. So it should be back in February.
Yep.
And I think we'll be starting to watch all of the George Romero Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Dead, of the Living Dead's films. So we'll obviously start with Night of the Living Dead, the first one, and then we'll work our way through.
Yeah.
And with all that said, please make sure you go to our social medias to follow and engage. We also have merch for you to purchase. The social media and the merch are all linked in the show notes. If you have any movies you want us to review or cover for the podcast, or if there's any subjects you want us to review or cover, you can email us at imaginaryramblings@gmail.com. And anything else we should tell them, Benjamin? Put you on the spot.
Yeah, nothing comes to mind.
All right. As I always say at the end of every episode, pull through, not out.
Hey, yeah. Solid advice.
Wouldn't that be so funny if I went back and edited all the podcasts to
end
that way, and then everyone's like, oh, well, I don't remember him saying that, but I guess he did.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah. Shit.
That's my new catchphrase, pull through, not out. My wife hates that. I say that all the time when we're at the grocery store and I can find a spot to pull through. I'm like, pull through, not out. And she's like, ugh. She's like, Locke can understand that stuff now. Oh no! I forgot. I should have mentioned this earlier. I know we're in the outro or whatever, but oh my gosh, Locke was doing the WAP dance last night.
Nice. Oh, that's funny.
Oh goodness, I didn't know if I should be like, no, don't do that, or if I should just like be like, bravo.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was so funny.
That is funny though.
Oh, macaroni in a pot. But oh yeah, we should come up with catchphrases. That'd be fun for our new. It's kind of like we're in a new season, a new. Since we took so much time off.
Yeah, we really did, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, it was completely like, it wasn't time off that I was like happy to take. It wasn't like the times where we've like kind of pod faded where I was just like I needed a break. It was literally I couldn't do I could have like recorded on my phone and like put like some really shitty episodes out, but I was like, nah.
Right.
Nah, that ain't me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of a catchphrase on the fly, Benjamin?
Oh, nope. The only thing that comes to mind is from those crappy those like Jack in the Box games. We were
Uh-huh.
playing one that was like you were a comedian, and it was like at the end of your like session, I guess, there was always like whatever your catchphrase was, and they were all just like really stupid.
Okay.
One was like, "That's a lot of meatballs," or some shit like that. It's like it doesn't even make sense.
Hey, you know what? Pull through, not out.
Pull through, not out.
That's classic. That's classic. I used to say cool beans in high school. That's
Oh,
how
yeah?
cool I was. Yeah.
Dang, that is cool.
Yeah. Edgelord.
Yeah, it is.
But I think I'll just go back to the tried and true, at least for now. And I'm going to say, with all that said, all I have left to say is bye-bye.
Bye. That was lovely.